Daddy and Mummy Pig have two secret daughters. One of them is Peppa's twin, and the other is baby Eevee's twin sister. It may sound absurd, but we only found out about this because of Peppa's new house. Renovation. After it was announced that Mummy Pig would have a new daughter named Eevee, Peppa's classic house was completely renovated, becoming much bigger and gaining several new rooms. The reason? Eevee needed more space, and that's exactly where things get interesting. The house became so big that it doesn't look like it was made to accommodate 3 little pigs, but 5. And that's not just a figure of speech. A lot of clues actually suggest that there are 5 children living inside this house, with 2 of them secretly living there. All we have to do is compare the 2 versions of the house. The first version was very simple and small, with only the most essential rooms: a living room, a kitchen, 1 bedroom for the children, 1 for the parents, and so on. Now, the new house is much bigger. Every room that already existed before has doubled in size, and as if that weren't enough, several new rooms were built, and you can notice that just by looking at the outside, which has more windows than before. But where exactly are the pig family's secret little pigs? You're about to find out, because we're going to tell you everything we know about Peppa's new house made for 5 children. Are you ready? Because another amazing Cinewave is starting now. Peppa's bedroom. Before, Peppa had to share her bedroom with George, but that has changed. Now, she has an entire room all to herself, and it's amazing. But wait, zoom in right here. Why is Peppa still sleeping in a bunk bed if there's no one sleeping on the bottom bunk? Or could one of her secret sisters be sleeping there with her? That would be completely possible, especially because the bottom bunk has a sheet that could be used to hide whoever is sleeping in there, and that can't be a coincidence, especially because the theory that Peppa has a secret twin sister has existed for many years, all because of an official poster where a girl who looks exactly like Peppa watches her and her family through the window of the house. If Peppa is the only one who sleeps in this room, then she should be sleeping in a regular bed. The bunk bed looks like a small clue placed there by the show to make us realize that Peppa is sharing the room with one of the pig family's secret daughters. Does the star of the show know about this? Or does her hidden sister sleep there in secret? Office. It looks like Peppa's secret roommate may have already appeared in a photo. Seriously, zoom in on Mummy Pig's new office. Inside, you can find a picture of 2 little pigs. At first, they look like Peppa and George, but the girl is wearing a different dress from the one the main character normally wears. In other words, this girl could very well actually be Peppa's sister, who never appears in the show. It's possible that this mysterious girl likes hanging out in Mummy Pig's office. Before, the office only had a computer. Now, it has shelves full of children's books and a couch to sit on. It's easy to imagine that while Mummy Pig works on the computer, Peppa's twin spends her time reading books from the shelves while sitting on the office couch. But why does she never appear in the episodes, even though she can be seen in photos? Maybe she has some kind of illness that caused her to stop leaving the house. George's bedroom. George also got a bedroom all to himself, but honestly, it really looks like a secret sister is hiding in there too. The room is gigantic, and a 2-year-old child would never need that much space. It would be a waste of space unless there were 2 little pigs living in there. The room has George's personality all over it, basically looking like a dinosaur park. Very different from the old bedroom he shared with Peppa, which didn't have nearly as much personality. But focus on this shelf in the corner. Instead of dinosaurs, there are several toy cars here, and maybe those are the toys belonging to the secret sister who sleeps in this room with him. Even though George also likes cars, he has never loved them enough to have an entire shelf just to store a bunch of them. So these cars don't really match the rest of the room at all. Everything starts to make more sense when we realize that the person who plays with the toys on this shelf the most is George's sister, who, instead of loving dinosaurs, is obsessed with cars. We believe this girl was born at the same time as Eevee Pig and is one of the main reasons why the house was renovated, but we'll explain that better at the end of this video, so stay with us. So, do you also believe that the pig family has more daughters we don't know about? If you do, comment #daughters down below. Living room. Even the living room has changed completely. We're not even going to focus on its gigantic size. The couch and armchair were replaced, with the couch now being bigger and blue, and the television is now state-of-the-art. Zoom in here and here. Did you notice that some bookshelves filled with children's books were added to the living room? It must be because Peppa's twin really likes reading these books, since several of them can also be found in Mummy Pig's office, where Peppa's twin apparently likes spending her time. It doesn't make sense that all these books were put there because of Eevee. She can't even read yet. Kitchen. More space, more food, more everything. Yes, the kitchen is also impressively large, and this is one of the most suspicious cases. Why make the kitchen so much bigger just because of baby Eevee? They only needed a little extra space for her high chair, but this new kitchen looks like it was made so several children could eat there. And it's not just about the space. There are several new food cabinets, suggesting that the pig family is buying a lot more food than before. There's no way to blame all of that on Eevee. Daddy and Mummy Pig are clearly feeding 5 mouths instead of 3. Either that, or Daddy Pig has completely given up on getting in shape and decided he's just going to eat until he explodes. Playroom. The part of the new house that makes it the clearest that there could be 2 more children living here is the playroom. Peppa and George's new bedrooms are already incredible on their own, but on top of that, they also got a room full of toys made specifically so they can all play together with Eevee. Let's be honest, this room only makes sense if it was made for 5 children instead of 3. If only Peppa, George, and Eevee live in this house, they can play in each other's bedrooms, which are already big enough for that. But if 5 children are living in the house, then the story changes. If all 5 of them tried to play together in one of their bedrooms, it would be way too messy. But having a little space made specifically for them to get together and make a mess would help a lot. It's almost like they have their own mini daycare. Would you like to have a place like this in your house? Garage. The Pig family has always had a car, but their house went a long time without a garage. Now, that has changed, because a pretty big garage was added to the house. Did you notice that this place is the perfect hiding spot for the Pig family's secret children? The garage doesn't just store the car, it also holds boxes, tools, and even toys. In other words, Peppa's twin sister could hide in there and we wouldn't even notice because all the clutter would keep her hidden from us. Maybe this is where she stays whenever we don't see her in Peppa's bedroom. In fact, one of the times we see this garage is in the episode where Peppa and George start covering the house in bubble wrap in a completely over-the-top attempt to stop Eevee from getting hurt. Some people say that all this paranoia about protecting Eevee is because Peppa realized there are secret siblings living in the new house, and that scared her. Do you think that makes sense? Subscribing to the channel is just as good as watching your favorite animations. Shall we click? Car. The Pig family's car itself was replaced with a brand new vehicle. We don't even need to say that the new car is much bigger than the old one, right? You could almost call it an SUV. The usual excuse is that Eevee needs more space, and in this case, that does make a little more sense, but the size of the new car still feels excessive. The strangest part is that the vehicle is often seen parked outside, even though we now know the Pig family has a garage built specifically to store the car. Why leave it outside and risk having it get rained on? The answer could be that Daddy and Mummy Pig want to leave more room inside the garage for Peppa's twin sister to hide. Eevee's bedroom. Even though she's still just a baby Eevee already has a bedroom all to herself, filled with toy ducks. Well, all to herself as far as we know, because we have a feeling that Mummy and Daddy Pig's plan is for this to become Eevee and her twin sister's bedroom in the future. If Peppa and George shared the same bedroom for years before getting rooms of their own, it doesn't make sense for Eevee to have all of this just for herself. It makes more sense that this is a room she'll eventually share with her sister, except they're not sleeping together in here yet because they're still too young to be left alone. That's why Eevee's twin sleeps in the same bedroom as George. Meanwhile, we've seen that Eevee usually sleeps with her parents in their bedroom. Once the girls are around 2 years old, you can expect to see them sleeping together in their own room. More piglets. Okay, so everything seems to suggest that there are 2 more little pigs living in the Pig family's house. But where did they come from, and why are they being kept a secret? Apparently, Mummy Pig had 2 piglets during her first pregnancy, with one of them being Peppa and the other being the main character's twin sister. So before Eevee was born, there were already 3 children in the family. But it doesn't stop there. We thought Mummy Pig was only going to have Eevee during her latest pregnancy, but what if 2 little girls were actually born? Yes, even Eevee could have a twin, and she would be George's roommate. That's why the new house was made for 5 children. To understand understand this, we just have to remember that in real life, pigs have a lot of piglets in each pregnancy, between 10 and 14 just to give you an idea. So it's possible that the pigs in Peppa Pig are similar, even if it's shown in a much less exaggerated way. Instead of 10 piglets, there's a good chance that Mummy Pig has 2 babies whenever she gets pregnant. After all, Miss Rabbit also had twins, and rabbits are another animal known for having many babies at once. The real mystery is figuring out why the pig family is hiding Peppa and Eevee's twin sisters. If you have any theory that could explain it, leave it down below. If you liked this video, there are 2 more ready on the screen. Just click and keep watching with us. Thanks, and see you soon.